Russell Hotels going live just for a couple minutes. You guys know how I do it. Today is Friday, so that can only mean one thing: daily check-in, right? So hope you guys are doing well. In fact, I'm not in the wrong screen here. I don't know what the heck's going on here. So anyway, happy Friday to everybody. Hope you guys. Did I say that already? Probably said that already, but let me just make sure that I am live on the platforms I'm supposed to be live on. I just got this text message from an airline that says I have a flight or they want me to check into a flight coming back. I don't have a flight until that's like next month or something. I'm like, why am I getting this stuff early? I don't understand, but something's not right. Hold on one second. Let me just check on something. See, this is a good thing where I have time to kind of like check this stuff while I have you guys here to make sure I'm live on certain platforms. I got to make sure that I'm live on Instagram, and I think I am. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, right? I think those are the platforms I'm supposed to be live on. So thank you so much. Hold on one second. I just have to check something because I didn't like that comment that came through. Like it's making me for like, did I forget that I have a flight coming up? It's time to check in to your flight from San Francisco. Well, when is that? Let me just check this. Let me just hold on one second. Hold on one second. Let me check. When are they talking? I mean, do you check in this early, like a month before? This must be something new. Hold on one second. I ain't mad at United Airlines for being on top of stuff, right? But I don't think I have a flight coming up. This confirm your detail. Do 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 do. Or maybe it's just asking me if I want to upgrade and all that crap. I don't know. I don't know, but I guess I ain't gonna worry about that. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But it kind of concerned me when it just popped up like check in right now. I'm like, I don't have a flight going on. In fact, I have another trip coming before that one. So, but anyway, hey, I just want to make sure. Okay, I'm live on LinkedIn, so I am live there. So at least that gave me a chance to even check that out, right? So anyway, once again, Russell of Hotels, and I do this show, this daily check-in, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So today is Friday, so end of the week. It was a good week as well. In fact, I just got off the phone with a hotel, right? A hotel sales manager, and I love when they pick up the phone and call because it doesn't happen that often. Normally, they want to send an email, they want to do that, they want to do everything, but pick up the phone and say, "Hey, what's going on?" So check this out. So a client of mine um, needed to do a site tour because it's coming down to like two hotels that they're about to choose or select for this meeting that they have coming up in October. And at the last minute, they wanted to do a site tour, site visit. Okay, I can do that. That's what I do, right? But they didn't want me to come along. They wanted to go on their own. I'm like, okay, well, that's my job to set it up. Okay, of course. I set these things up. That's what I do. That's how I get down, right? So I set it up, and the two hotels they went to, both of them were great. The salespeople were great. The hotels were great, and I'll tell you what they are later because we haven't selected yet. So once they select it, I'll let you know. But I'll just say they were both in Hollywood. Okay, there were two Hollywood hotels, two major Hollywood hotels. I'll just throw that out there. But she said my client says both sales people were professional. They were happy to see us. They were accommodating. They were all that, they were friendly. They were, giving hugs and all this stuff. And that's what you want to hear, right? So today, just a couple minutes ago before I came onto this live, one of them just happened to call me and say, "Hey, I just want to see how things were going. How did it turn out yesterday? How did your clients like the hotel?" And I said, "You know what? You are the talk of the town. You were the talk of the site tour. They talk more about you, meaning the salesperson, than they did about the property. I mean, they love the property. Don't get me wrong, but they love, the things that you offered, your friendliness, your professionalism." All that stuff, right? You were, over accommodating, which is good. That's a good thing, right? So yeah, so I love when they call me, and I love to give feedback back to them as well. So, but that's one thing that sometimes we as salespeople, we forget about that stuff, right? We forget about that. We have to follow up. Okay, we may do the site tour and site inspection, whatever. Okay, that's fine, but we have to follow up because you're only as good as the follow up. Sometimes we forget that you even did that, right? You have to follow up. So that's a good thing. So I appreciate him reaching out to me today and just following up. And it's at the end of the day, right? A lot of times, Fridays, salespeople are gone, right? They left at 3, they left at 2, right? It's Friday, it's the weekend. But no, I appreciate this 421. And he called me at after 4 o'clock. So that says a lot about that particular salesperson. That just throwing that out there, okay? Just throwing that out there. So anyway, okay, so every time I do one of these shows, I always showcase a hotel, which is no exception. I'm going to do it today. Also, feel free to make comments, right? So the chat is open. So wherever you are, I see Cynthia Blackbone. Hey, what's up, fam? I see Velvet Style Biz. That's Miss Tiffany and Lick Color. I think that's what this is. A light color. No, it says LICK. Lick your color. Lick some color. I don't know what that means. My mind. But anyway, feel free to make your comments. I appreciate you guys being there. This is a brief. I'm not going to be that long. Hopefully, I'm not that long. But if you have comments or questions, feel free because that's what it's all about. It's all about the engagement, right? And I got my Russell Hotel shirt on today. You see that? I just noticed that, right? Shit. Okay. I'm representing today. Hey, got me a little swag on. Pretty soon I'm gonna have on my website, I'm gonna have a drop down that you can buy some swag. You can buy some logoed shirts, sweatshirts, hats. I'm gonna have that pretty soon. Pretty soon. I just have to come out with there's a couple of the things that they're in the design stage now. I'm not designing them because that's not what I do, but I've given them to somebody to come up with a design, and hopefully that comes up soon. It's going to be Hospitality Unplugged. Okay, it's going to be a whole thing. All right, so hold on for that. But some swag is coming. Some merch. Is it called merch or swag? I don't know. I guess whatever I want to call it. Right. But yeah, that's coming soon. So look out for that. But don't worry. You don't have to look out for that because I'm gonna make sure you know about it when it does come out. So okay. So once again, I never do one of these shows where I'm not showcasing a hotel. And I actually showcased this one yesterday, and I'm going to showcase it again. Okay, so this was the Pacific Palms Resort. I just had a group there, which is a family reunion. So anyone that's a part of that love family reunion and you didn't go, well, this is the hotel you missed out on. Okay, so next time you need to go because this is what I do, right? This is what I do. So yeah, so for the family, I've been doing this since '92. Even when I was on property, not even in sales then, because I wasn't in sales in 1992. I was still, I think, it was at the front desk. Yeah, I was at the front desk in '92, right? So, but yeah, but I always been in charge of doing site selection for my family, right? So it's called the Love Family Reunion, and that's right. It's not love because we all love each other. No, that's our last name. That's my grandmother's last name, right? So she came from the Love family. So because some people think, oh, it's just love people getting together. Oh, they love little flowers and whatever. Oh, we just whatever. No, 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 no. That's actually the last name. So just thought I'd throw that out there because I know there's somebody out there that was wondering, like, oh, they just love each other and they're just having a reunion. No, 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 no. So anyway, 292 guest rooms, 45,000 square feet of meeting space, which means it's a good size hotel for events, conferences, things like that. So you can see the pond right there. Then there's a pool on the other side. You can see palm trees. So just your typical Southern California landscape with the greenery, the hillsides, the palm trees. You can't get no more California than this place. Okay. So, and the name is Pacific Palms. Okay. Sits on 2 golf courses. So that's 36 holes, right? So there you go. So there you go. And I didn't mention that right outside, that's the patio. So you can, there's a restaurant inside, but they serve you outside all the time. So for breakfast, lunch, and I think even dinner, this is basically an extension. You see the tables and chairs right there. That's an extension of their restaurant, which is right not too far from where this picture is taken, maybe 2 feet left. You just can't see it because I didn't take a picture of that. So there you go. But this is a guest room. Actually, this was was this my guest room? Yeah, this was my guest room. So it was a king. Well, no, this is a king. No, this was not my guest room. It's somebody else's room, but I took a picture of it. So just so you can take a, you can see a little bit of the view there, but I'm going to open it up for you. Boom, there you go, right? So you got the rolling hills, you got greenery. You can see, like I said, the golf course from there. Just nice views. And then on the other side of the hotel, so if you're facing that would be west, you can see downtown Los Angeles from here because it's only, I want to say 15 miles east of downtown LA. So for me, it took, well, on the way up on Friday afternoon with traffic, it took about an hour and 20 minutes to get there. But on Sunday, coming back home, it took 40 minutes, but it's typically only like, it's literally only like 15 miles, but 15 miles in LA doesn't mean 15 minutes, and it never means that. Okay. So, but anyway, just thought I'd share it with you. But very nice, comfortable hotel, comfortable. I remember this hotel back in the day. It used to be a Sheraton, and it was called the Industry Hill Sheraton. It sits on the hill, and I know this because I went to Cal Poly Pomona, which is down the hill from this particular hotel. So I would always go up there and just kind of hang out. Oh, I wish I worked here, or I can't wait to one day work here, whatever. Well, I never did. Okay, but I took a group here, right? So this is the banquet area. This used to be a restaurant. It's called CIMA, CIMA, but they converted it into a banquet facility or whatever. So this is where actually our family reunions, the dinner was. So it was ample space for the amount of people we had. We had about 120 people or so. I think we guaranteed 120 or something like that. So yeah. But of course, if it was a lot larger group, then of course they would have to give us bigger space. But because we only had so many, they're going to give us that space. And the space worked out well. And this is just, of course, I get to everything early, right? And I'm just here, just chilling. And I'm like, okay, let me take a picture of, the table and my iced tea and everything. So, which one is yours? Like, which fork is yours? Is that knife mine? Do you ever, the place setting, do you ever get confused sometimes? Like, is that my napkin or is that my water glass? Is that what, blah, 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 blah? Do you ever get confused with that? There's etiquette, right? So you have to know. Well, you don't have to. You can just go there and fake it, and then someone says, "Well, where's my napkin at? You took my napkin." But normally your drink is right above your knife. Okay, so see how the iced tea is right above the knife? That'd be yours, right? So when that fork, anything in between that fork would be yours. So they put the plate right there. You start on the outside and work your way in, right? So even the spoon and the fork, right? Whatever's coming out first will be with the spoon. So if it was soup, of course, you use that spoon on top, right? And you have fruit later, well, it's going to be the fork that's under the spoon, So anyway, let me stop with all that. But so yeah, so I just love taking pictures of that and just thinking about, do people know about this stuff? They know about the etiquette, but maybe they do, maybe they don't. And this is just an aerial view from get another guest room. I don't think it was from my guest room. Yeah, I guess it was from my guest room. So there you go. Once again, Pacific Palms Resort, 292 guest rooms, 45,000 square feet of meeting space. Very nice hotel. It's in the hills, on a hill. Sing some more, Russell. Hello, Craig. How are you? I'm looking at Instagram now, and Craig has joined. And okay, so hold on to your hat now. Craig is on board. So he's with Click for Hotels. So Craig's there, Cynthia Bowen is there, Velvet Style Event is there, as well as Lit Color is there as well. So thank you guys so much for joining. If you have comments, feel free to just make your comments. If you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, make your comments. And I can actually put those comments on the screen. I just can't do it from Instagram, but that's just how it works out. So that's just how it works. That's just how it works. So yeah, it's Friday, right? So TGIF, right? What's going on for the weekend? Craig, what you got planned? Velvet Style Event. Tiffany, what do you have planned? Cynthia, what do you have planned? And yeah, so let me know what you guys have planned for the weekend and where you're located. Where are you located? Where are you tuning in from? Like the city, just give me the city. Like, where are you located? Because I just love to know the reach. Like, who am I reaching and where am I reaching these people? So every time I do one of these, I'm not only going to show a hotel, but I'm also going to share a topic. Okay. So, real quick, this is a brief topic. The sale doesn't end when the group checks out. Okay. What does that mean, Russell? You always got something. You always got something for us to think about. It's a Friday. Do I need to think? It's a Friday, but yeah, you do need to think today. So, let me just get my phone over here. So, everything's on my phone now, right? So, my iPad it wasn't charged, so I said, okay, I got to use the phone today, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. So okay, so real quick, let me just check on Instagram. Any comments over there first? Trying Pyatt, what's going on, Trying Pyatt? How are you, sir? Hanging out in Newport Beach. So Craig is in Newport Beach. Appreciate you, Craig, for letting us know. All about the experiences is joined as well. Where are you located? All about the experiences. Um, no need. No, you do not need to think today. It's Friday, right? But I'm sorry, I still have a topic. Okay, I still have to have a topic, right? Trying, where are you tuning in from? We're just asking for like a city. We don't need addresses, okay? But just a city where you're located. All about the experiences. Where are you located? Craig said he's in Newport Beach. Oh, okay. All about the experiences. She's hanging out in Temecula. Are you at the winery? Probably so, right? This Friday, Cheryl's probably she probably turning them up, turning them up. So, and ain't nothing wrong with that. It's Friday, right? I'm sure she didn't had a week. So I'm turning it up too. No, this is water. That's just some. That's just some water. So yeah, so just let me know where you guys are. Trying's in Oxnard. You know what, Trying? I didn't know you lived in Oxnard. I was there not too long ago, and I was at the what is the name of the hotel there? What is the name of the hotel there? Right on the water. Why can't I? Man, I was there. I was hanging out there. I had some vegan food there. There's at least one vegan restaurant there in town. I was there all day with Michelle from the Tourism Bureau office of Oxnard, right? Because I forgot how much Oxnard has, right? As far as it's a beach community, it's a touristy area as well. Um, yeah, so I forget the name of the hotel. Why can't I? No, not the Four Points. Why can't I think of the name of the hotel? Why can't I? Yeah, there you go. Mandalay, Mandalay, Mandalay. Is that the full name? Is it Mandalay? It's on Mandalay Beach, right? It's on Mandalay Beach, but it's called something else, something on Mandalay Beach or something Mandalay Beach. Why is it escaping my mind? I don't know, but that is the hotel that I was there. And then actually the Residence Inn, well, now it's not the Residence Inn now, but that's where the Dallas Cowboys have their training camp, and that's going on right now. So yeah. Oh, Cheryl says she'll be there next weekend for training camp. Yeah, Cowboys are in town. That is right. That is right. Did you know? I I'm like, it's been a long time, but I remember when the Cowboys first came to Oxnard because the guy that we worked for the same company. That hotel used to be managed by Sunstone Hotels. Bob Alter, you guys know, or I know um, Craig knows Bob Alter. It was Sunstone Hotels. They owned that hotel. It was a Residence Inn at that time, and I can't remember who it was. A sales manager that was instrumental in getting the Dallas Cowboys to come to that hotel, and they've been there ever since, right? So yeah, I remember that. I never experienced a training camp and all that, but I hear it's something to see, right? It's something to see. So anyway, all right, enough of that. Enough of that. So you guys got me off what I was trying to do, right? So anyway, the sale doesn't end when the group checks out. Okay, so real quick, I don't want you guys thinking too much. So let me just do the driving here. Let me do the reading, and I'm just going to throw some stuff out there. You don't have to reply because it is a Friday, right? And I don't want to take the last bit of brain cells that you guys have because you guys have to, you have to drink. I know Cheryl does. So, but anyway, um, here's a question for every sales professional. When was the last time you followed up after a site visit or after a group checked out? That doesn't happen all the time, and it should, right? I'm not talking about sending a survey. I'm not talking about picking up. I'm talking about picking up the phone, sending a personal email, or simply asking, "How did everything go?" That's a foreign concept. Okay, and I'm gonna give you. It's all about my experiences, right? Just like Cheryl says, it's all about your experiences. Well, this is my experience. So I just mentioned earlier that we had a family reunion at the Pacific Palms Resort in the city of industry just last week, right? Last Friday, it started Friday and it was done on Sunday. Okay. Do you think I've heard from that sales manager? Well, if I had, I probably wouldn't have this as a topic. Okay. So, that's what I mean. The sale doesn't end when the group checks out. She's still, what about the next time? What if we were interested in coming back to this hotel? Well, that says a lot right there. She didn't call us. She hasn't followed up. Um, she didn't know if it went well or not, right? Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. Maybe, she was there, but you still have to follow up and say, "Hey, how did it go? Um, what did we do? Could we do anything better or whatever? Did the golf go well?" Well, the golf didn't go well, and that's what I want to talk to her about, right? So it just kills me to see that people don't follow up. So anyway, I'm gonna get to this in a minute. Just picking up the phone. How did everything go? Sometimes the most important conversation happens after the event is over. So let's talk about why. Okay, so I got like three little things here that we're gonna go over that we're gonna touch. Okay, number one, follow up shows you care. So should I assume that she doesn't care? I don't know. Don't leave it up to me to think, okay? But number one says follow up shows you care. After a site visit or a successful event, your client wants to know that you care about more than just getting the contract. A simple follow up, let me put this in front of me. A simple follow up call or email tells them, I value your business, your feedback matters. How can we make your next event even better? Hmm. If there's going to be a next event, that one conversation can strengthen a relationship far more than another sales call. So, and I'm not sure if everyone was on when I first came on here, right? When I first came on this live, I just got off the phone and I mentioned this. I just got off the phone with a hotel salesperson who did a site tour for me yesterday. Okay. So a client of mine needed to come and see this hotel because it's coming down to the wire and they want to select one of two hotels. And these happen to be two Hollywood hotels, right? And so he called me. He called me like at 4 o'clock. Call me at 4 o'clock, following up, say, "Hey, how did it go? What do you think they're gonna choose?" I mean, he called. It didn't even matter what he said. He called to follow up to make sure everything went well. All your people, they're so lovely. I appreciate you sending them here. I mean, he was very appreciative of me, you know, um, recommending their hotel, right? So that's what it's all about, right? I could tell that he cares, that he wants this business. Okay, that's the same thing. So if a group has been there, you need to follow up. There's no excuse for not following up after a group is checked out. Let's see. How's in town? Zakari, there you go. Try and thank you. Zakari Dunes. There you go. Zakari Dunes. I was there. Had I known you were there, I would have said, "Hey, come on by." No. Next time, because I'll be going back. So next time, I'll reach out to you. I'll reach out and touch. So yeah, Cheryl says, "Wow." I don't know what that means, Cheryl, but wow, wow, what? What does that mean? Wow. Okay, number two. Let's get to this. Let's get to this, and then you can ask questions. We can play around a little bit. Feedback is a gift. Every event teaches us something. Maybe the banquet was outstanding. Maybe check-in was flawless. Or maybe there was an issue that no one told you about during the event, like the golf thing, right? Um, the best sales professionals don't fear feedback. They welcome it because it helps improve the next experience. See, that's one thing. Some people are in fear, like, oh my God, if I call them, they're going to give me all, they're going to unload all this stuff on me. And sometimes we do, right? But that's what your job is. Your job is to make sure you know, did everything go well? And if it didn't, what didn't go well? What do we need to fix for the next group? Or maybe if this is a repeat group, what do we need to fix to make sure they continue to come back, right? To make sure we keep elevating that service level each time they come. But you have to ask those questions, right? You have to be willing to call and put yourself out there. Okay. You can't think the worst, right? If you're a salesperson, you gotta have, first of all, you gotta have some thick skin, okay? Because sometimes yeah, stuff did not go well. You tell him, Russell. Thank you. Feedback is good. Yes, it is. Craig, thank you so much. I don't understand why people don't want to do it. I mean, just like the sales manager called me. I mean, it could have been a disaster. They could have said that hotel sucks. We'll never go there. But he was open for everything. He was there. He was willing. He was a willing participant. He was an open book. And he's like, how did it go? Let me know. They were lovely people, but what you have the inside information. What do you think? I said, I think it went very well. And I think they loved you because they led the conversation with you. Oh, we loved William. William was great. I mean, isn't that what you want, right? That's what you want. But you have to pick up that phone and call someone, not email. Pick up the phone and call somebody. Call me when you need someone to talk to. Okay, number three. The next booking starts when the last with let me say that again. The next booking starts with the last experience. What does that mean, Russell? I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? Here's something I've learned over the years. Many repeat bookings don't happen because of the ballroom or the guest rooms. So true. They happen because of the relationship. A thoughtful follow-up creates another opportunity to thank your client. Address any concerns and begin talking about their next meeting or event. The next booking often starts with one simple question. What's next on your calendar? Okay. In closing, here's my challenge to every hotel sales professional. Don't let the relationships end with the group's checkout. Reach out, say thank you, ask for honest feedback, find out what went well and what could have been better. Because the contract may be complete, but the relationship is just starting. Who? Boom. Drop the mic. Remember, I think, and I have this. Remember, do you remember? Remember, the best follow up isn't about making another sale, it's about building a relationship that leads to the next one. There you go. So it's all about just build that relationship, okay? Follow up, ask for feedback, welcome anything that comes. And if you have to get other departments involved in this, well, then that's what you need to do. You're a manager, okay? Sometimes we forget that we have this manager tag. I don't care if you're sales manager, if you have manager at the end of your name, the whole hotel is your responsibility. The entire hotel is your responsibility. So if something goes wrong and something in another department, maybe housekeeping did something, engineering didn't follow up, whatever the case may be, we need to be managers and say, manage the situation, get them involved if we need to. Okay. Hey, this is what happened. My client told me this happened, blah, blah, blah. What can we do to fix this? I mean, that's what you have to do as a manager. If you have a manager in your title, you need to make it happen. Okay. Let's see. Craig Sullivan, I have a simple question for you. What's the question? What's the question? Boom. See, there you go. Craig was on Instagram. Now he's over on LinkedIn. And I'm giving, there's a question. Okay. I have a simple question. What's the question, Craig? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Love, nice love. That in the GM. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Does he have any other questions? Craig has a question, I think. So, so I think that is it. I do have something to share with you. I do have a guest coming up on next Tuesday on air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about. I'm gonna have a guest, so let me just cue that up. Where is it? Where am I? Let's see. Hold on one second. Be patient with me. So, boom. Let me put that up there. That's the logo. And let's see. The next guest, and I have to get rid of your thing, Craig. Rick the Water Guy. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, Rick the Water Guy is going to come on. Saving water, cutting costs, boosting guest satisfaction. How can water, like your shower or the shower pressure, how can that improve or how can that boost guest satisfaction? Okay, well, it can, right? I mean, people come to a hotel for a respite, right? So they want things that they can't get at home for the most part. They want that high pressure. They want, a spa. They want to go and dine at the restaurant. They want to order room service. They want all those things. They're looking for an experience now. And sometimes that experience has to do with, does the shower work? Okay. There's some hotels I've been to that, the water pressure wasn't where it should be. And I didn't come to the hotel for that. I came there for some perfect or maybe more than perfect, water pressure, right? So this is what Rick does. So he's going to come on, and guess where I met him? I met him on LinkedIn, right? So he saw what I do as far as talk about things, everything hotels, hence the name Russell of Hotels. So he reached out to me a couple days ago, and we did like a quick little Google Meets call yesterday, and we talked about what he did and some of the clients that he has. So for owners, for management companies, for general managers, for engineers, this will be a good show for you to come on and check out and listen. Okay. So it's all about guest satisfaction. It's all about water pressure. Okay. Rick, the water guy, is going to be on here, right? So we're going to ask a whole bunch of questions. Make sure you have your questions with you. Once again, on air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show. It's going to be on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday at 1 o'clock PST, California time. Okay, so Rick's in San Diego. I'm here in LA. So we're going to have a good time and talk about this because I don't think he expected me to say, hey, you should come on the show, right? I mean, he wanted to share his experience and what he does as a company and a business. And I said, well, hey, that sounds good. Why don't you come on the show? Let's make it happen, right? Because I've never had anyone that does what you do on this show. And I think that people, like I said, they're looking for an experience, right? And sometimes that experience starts at that hotel, right? Starts in their room. And sometimes you'll be amazed how many people check out and never complain about like water pressure or whatever. And we're at the mercy when people don't let you know, the engineering team, they're at the mercy of when they PM rooms. PM means preventive maintenance. So every so often, the housekeepers come in and they take the shears down. They wash the shears or whatever they do with those. They turn the mattresses. They do all these kind of upgrades or general cleaning and cleaning that they wouldn't normally do when housekeeping just comes in on a daily basis, right? No, it's a deep cleaning thing. Well, that deep cleaning also includes like the air conditioning vents or making sure things are working like they're supposed to be. But sometimes they forget about checking the shower heads. Are the shower heads working, right or perfectly or how they're supposed to? Have they been changed out in a while? Are they clogged? And what about the water pressure that comes into the hotel? That's a telltale sign. As you're going higher in the rooms, the floors, the pressure kind of dissipates, right? The ones on the bottom floor are going to be great, but what about the ones on the 21st floor? Because water does, it has to go up there, right? So you have to think about those things as well. Well, Rick's company basically analyzes this, right? Analyzes the pressure and comes up with a game plan for hotels to make sure their pressure is good. Well, he's going to explain all that stuff, but I'm just kind of like scratching the surface a little bit of it. And that's why he's going to be on here, because we're going to have him on here and we're going to talk about that. So once again, ownership groups, management companies, um, anything hotel, right? Yeah. So be here. Check it out on air with Russell of Hotels on Tuesday. So let's just make sure we're there. So, okay, Craig, let's see. Craig had a question. Um, rules admin manager. I'm not sure what that means, Craig. What are you doing this weekend? Is that the question? Okay, let's get into this question here. What are you doing this weekend? Nothing. Not a darn thing. I normally would be doing some yard work, but I actually did the yard work. I cheated and I did the yard work earlier today. So no, I'm not doing anything as far as I know. Normally, a group of friends we go to the movies tonight. Well, that got canceled today, earlier today, so we're not doing the movies tonight. So normally it'd be movies, but I think we're supposed to go to movies on Sunday. I think Spider-Man is coming out on Sunday, and I think a group of us are gonna go to the movies. We do this every Friday for the most part, but this is a special thing. So there's more people gonna be going to the movies on Sunday. So that's the only thing that's the only thing I'm doing this weekend. But good question. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you for asking. Let me see any other comments here. Okay, so thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody that came on. Miss Lit Color, whatever that is, and whoever that is. Velvet Style Business, that's Miss Tiffany. Thank you. My cousin Cynthia Bowen, thank you for coming on. Click, that's Craig. Thank you. Aloha to Craig. Try and Pie It. We went to school together. We went to high school together. So he's a good friend of mine. And he lives in Oxnard. Okay, I didn't know that. Now I'm putting your business out there. He lives down the street from Zachary Dunes. Okay, so now you know. But no, but thank you, Tryon, for coming on. I appreciate that. And all about the experience. That's Miss Cheryl. Thank you so much for joining. She's out there in Temecula drinking some wine, probably on her second bottle by now, and that's a good thing. I think. I don't know. Let's see who else. I think that is it. Put people's business out there. And yes, if you want to go down to Oxnard and see the Cowboys in training, you should do that. Or if you want to see the Rams are right here at LMU, right? So if you didn't know, the Rams do their training at LMU, and I believe it's open to the public as well. They're right there. And yeah, so there you go. So there you go. So I think that is it. So no other comments I see. Let me just put this other thing back on here just so you guys know that Mr. Rick, the water guy, is going to be a guest here. So and you see his logo right there. See, that's what we do here. Okay. So but for people that come on or want to come on to the show, it's not just coming on. I mean, we market the heck out of you, or I do, not we, I do, right? So there's a couple things that I ask for. If someone's going to come on, logo is one of them. A brief bio of you, that's another thing. And anything, let's see, any photos or something that are related to your business or whatever, that stuff can be on there as well. So I normally don't ask for questions because, I mean, I ask the questions, right? My job is to ask the questions, right? So it's all about a conversation. Some people think it's an interview. No, it's not an interview. It's a conversation, right? I'm just talking to you like I'm talking to you guys right now, right? Asking normal, questions or whatever. Unless there's some specific questions that you want asked, I'm not going to tell you what the questions are. I mean, I'll allow you to give me some specific questions that are maybe important to your business, right? So of course, yeah, it's all about you. It's not about me, right? It's about you coming on, me asking questions about you, because it's about you and your brand, okay? The brand you represent, but it starts with you, right? You are the brand. And I mentioned this to Rick yesterday, and because he was asking about visibility and stuff like that. And I said, if it wasn't for visibility, not saying that everyone knows me, but there's more people that know me now than did before, okay? Because I'm consistently visible. And I mentioned to Rick, I said, if I had any advice to give anybody, if you want to be, if you want to be taken serious in this space, that's one thing, right? You want to you want to market your company, your business, your brand, which begins with you. Um, you have to be consistent. I don't care which platform you use. I mean, business to business, I would say LinkedIn would be a good platform, but it doesn't matter what platform you use, you still have to be consistent. And I said this, it can be a full-time job marketing yourself or marketing your business or your brand, right? I do it all the time. I do this thing 5 days a week, right? Why do I do it 5 days a week? Because I want more people to know who I am and what I do and how I can help them. It's not about the people that know who you are. It's about the people who don't know who you are. Mm, I need to put that on a t-shirt. Okay. Put that on a t-shirt. So I say, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Marsha always comes on at the end. Good afternoon to you as well, Craig. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So yeah, Marsha always comes on at the end. So thank you, Marsha, for coming on. I'm just sitting here winding things down. How long have I been on this thing? T-shirts from my brother. Okay, thank you so much, Marsha. I've been on 41 minutes. Okay. Man, that was refreshing. You know what I need? Somebody needs to help me. I need like a, what do you call it? A sponsorship for the water company, with a bottled water company. Mineragua. Mineragua? Yeah. And this is by the same company that makes Jarritos, or it's by Jarritos. You know Jarritos, the sodas, the Mexican sodas, like the orange and strawberry. Oh man, I've been drinking Jarritos for about 40 years. I remember back now, I'm dating myself. I remember back in the day, we used to work, we did farm labor. Okay. Me and a good buddy of mine, we did farm labor at 16. We're like 15, 16 years old, right? Well, I had to be 16 because I was driving. Okay. So I had to drive out to these fields, right? And I remember this guy, it was a family, they would come in every day from Mexicali, okay, Mexicali. And we would do this farm labor, okay. And every day at noon, that's lunchtime, right? And he would always he would sell us these Jarritos for like back then, I don't know if it was like 50 cents. I don't know, 50 cents or 25, a quarter. I don't remember what it was, but it's probably 50 cents. So man, I used to buy these Jarritos, the orange, whatever he had, we were drinking, right? And that was my first time having that. I'm like, man, this is some good stuff. And it came straight from Mexico back then, right? So I'm like, man, this is good stuff. So fast forward to now they have water. They have bottled water. And I don't drink a lot of soda. So in order for me to get that soda fix, I drink fizzy water. Okay. So I'm all about sparkling water. In fact, I'll go to the restaurant and say, just give me a club soda. And they just give you water out of the gun, right? Because it's carbonated. Man, that's the most refreshing water. I drink like gallons of it when I go to a restaurant. They're like, "You want some more club soda? Yeah, can you throw a little twist of lime in there?" But yeah, they have to have the gun where the soda comes out of. That same water is carbonated. So just ask for a club soda, right? And I'm like, man, it don't cost anything. It's just like water. It's just coming out of the gun. So like I said, I don't drink soda anymore, or not as much, nowhere near as much as I used to. So but I need that fizzy fix, and I get it from water. Did you just have a beer? No. No, I didn't have a no, that's water. I'm drinking water, Craig. No, I was not drinking a beer. No, I could go with one right now. I could go with a cold beer right now, Craig. But thank you. No, I didn't have a beer, but I still drink beer. But I don't drink as much. But no, I still drink beer. In fact, check this out. Okay, we had a family reunion last weekend, and we barbecued like burgers, dogs, that kind of stuff. Nothing too elaborate. And one cousin brings like he had 2 cases of, what was it? It wasn't Modelo. It was like, damn it, what was it? Was it a Modelo? I don't know. Whatever the beer was. Let's just say it's Modelo. Okay, let's just say that. Man, I must have drank like 4 of those. Okay, and I normally don't drink that much at one time, but I did, and I had 2 other ones, and and I know this because my sister Marsha bought them for me. Okay, so shout out to Marsha and the beer, right? So I think I had like 6. over the weekend. And normally, like I said, I haven't had that much beer in a long time, but it's family reunion. Family reunion. So yeah, so it was a good thing. So anyway, that is it. I appreciate all the comments. Thank you guys so much for coming on. This conversation kind of got away from me, but that's okay. But the main thing was what was the whatever the topic was, right? I showed the hotel, the damn, what is it called? What is it called? The Pacific Palms. So I showed the Pacific Palms Hotel. So that was a good thing. And then we know we have a guest coming on. Rick the Water Guy is coming on. He's going to talk about saving water, cutting costs, boosting guest satisfaction. Okay. And this is his logo right there, right? So if you have any questions at all, feel free to click onto the QR code right there. Just take your phone, your camera phone, click on that, and it'll pop up. And all my information is there. Okay. So if you have any questions at all about what I do or why I do this or who the heck do I think I am, go ahead and just, click on that and email me or whatever. So, and it goes to my website as well. So, anyway, that is it. Happy Friday to everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining. And we will see you on Monday because that's when the next daily check-in is. Okay. So there you go. Have a great day. Let me just make sure you check over here on Instagram, see if there's anything else there. Nope. I think that is it. That is it. You guys have a great day. Thank you guys so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Peace.